We are fortunate to have Mr. Gary Branch, RPH, here today representing the sponsor for the event CVS Pharmacy. Mr. Branch is the supervisor for the Area 4, Region 68, District 3. He is originally from Plainview, Texas, and graduated from Plainview High School in 1979. He completed his BS in Pharmacy from the University of Texas College of Pharmacy in 1985. His first pharmacy job was in 1976 in Plainview while in high school. His professional career started with Eckerd Drugs in 1985 and continued with the CVS in 2004 when brought the Eckerd. From 1987, he is also a long-term care facility consultant pharmacist. He is currently living in Lubbock, Texas, married to his wife Kathy for 23 years, and they have two boys, Creighton 16 and Kevin 11. He enjoys coaching baseball, playing golf, live music. Mr. Branch, on behalf of the sponsor of CVS Pharmacy.
Yeah, there's just about as many people as there were last year, so it's hard to believe it's been a year since we did this. Thank you, Dr. T, for the introduction. Dean Smith, faculty, students, family, and friends. What a privilege it is for CVS and myself to be sponsor for the Texas Tech School of Pharmacy White Coat Ceremony. I can't believe that the year has gone by. I was only 2 months into this title last year, and I can't tell you how honored we are to be with y'all again this year. The field of pharmacy continues to evolve year after year, and will do so as we go forward. Students, I cannot tell you what a wonderful career you have chosen, and I cannot express enough how rewarding it will be for yourself and your families. I have thoroughly enjoyed 30 years of practicing pharmacy since graduating from that little school in Austin only a short time ago. As Dr. T said, I grew up in Plainview. I started working in the pharmacy while I was in high school. I worked through college, and now I'm with the corporation that's 7,400 stores strong. The field of pharmacy continues to evolve. I can remember when we used to use typewriters. We were worried about mainly where is the whiteout. So we made compounds as a normal business. It wasn't a specialty. I can remember when we first got computers in the pharmacy and how much that changed the practice of pharmacy. I remember when we graduated from UT back a few years ago. One of our professors speaking said, "One day, guys, y'all will have robots filling prescriptions for you." Of course, we looked at each other and said, "No way, no way." But you know what? We got one in 1999, and we still have them in our high-volume stores around the country. I was in Tulsa last week, where we opened one of 5 new Store of the Future pharmacies for CVS Pharmacy. And all I got to say is, it was way cool. As Dr. Payne will mention in a few minutes, the white coat is a symbol of professionalism, and she wear it with honor and pride. I still have mine that I only got a few years ago, and our pharmacy continue to wear them while working in our stores. Our purpose with CVS is to help people on their path to better health. Your job is to continue to push the practice of pharmacy to its limits, no matter what direction you go in this profession. If you've played any kind of competitive athletics, I am sure you've always had a coach tell you, give it 110%. Do that. You can and will make a difference. Again, thank you for letting CVS be a part of this ceremony. Thank you to all the families, friends, and faculty for supporting these students and the future of pharmacy. Good luck, guys, and I can only hope the best for each and every one of you. Take care.
Dr. TTUHSC is an associate professor and the division head of adult medicine at the Texas Tech University Health Science Center School of Pharmacy. She received her PharmD in 1997 from the University of Texas and subsequently completed a 2-year residency in pharmacotherapy at the Medical University of South Carolina in Charleston, South Carolina. She is a board-certified pharmacotherapy specialist, serves as a clinical pharmacy specialist in critical care and adult medicine at the Northwest Texas Hospital. She is a recipient of the P2 Teaching Team of the Year Award, two-time recipient of the P3 Clerkship Preceptor of the Year Award, and Texas Tech University Health Science Center President's Safety Award. Dr. HSC's research interests parallel her practice focus in critical care and infectious disease. Dr. HSC, History and Evolution of the Profession of Pharmacy to Current Time.
Thank you very much. I'm challenged to give the entire history of our profession within 5 minutes. I'll be as concise as I can. Unfortunately, students, once we get in the classroom, I can't do that. So, pharmacy has a very long and rich history. It's a history that really reflects science, technology, but most importantly, the people and the culture that is served over different periods of time. In ancient times, well, just to start out with, the origin of the word pharmakon, it was a Greek word, meant remedy. But pharmacy really dates back far further than the Greek period. In ancient civilizations, people had considerable knowledge of medicinal plants and had systems of how they used those. The earliest known medical text dates back to 2100 BC. It was Sumerian, and it is largely a pharmacy compendium with formulas and directions for compounding medicines. Additional references from other civilizations such as Babylonian and Assyrian refer to drug preparation and the functions of those who did those preparations. In these and other civilizations, religion and elements of magic were actually enmeshed heavily with the treatment of disease. Greek medicine brought forth the idea of a natural basis for disease as opposed to one tied to religion. Ironically, the two major Greek gods continue to serve as symbols for the medical professions. The staff of Asclepios is the symbol for the profession of medicine, and the bowl and the serpent, as you see up here on the stage, are said to belong to his daughter Hygeia and are the universal symbol of pharmacy. Both Greek and Roman contributions to pharmacy included more rational, more critical, and more sophisticated approach to using medicines. Until the Middle Ages, the role of the pharmacist was largely intermingled with that of the physician and in some cases a priest. The Arab civilization brought a different focus of practice of pharmacy at the level of sophistication that it attained its own identity and independence. Both pharmacists and pharmacy shops existed in this group, and advances were made in the knowledge of the chemistry of medicines and the expansion of trade with medicines. Pharmacists in time had formal delineations of their roles and their training, and even as early as the 9th century, they noted the first pharmacy licenses in existence. Eventually, all of these concepts moved through Europe and onto the New World. So the discovery of the New World in the Americas brought many new advances to medicine, first many new plants, and also the expansion of availability of rare substances became more plentiful. During that time, the role of the pharmacist remained similar, but labor guilds formed and other groups that regulated the training and practice of pharmacy. So that brings us to the modern age. The modern age was marked by both the intellectual and industrial revolutions. So the intellectual revolution was manifested in pharmacy in about the 18th century, and what happened during this time was weeding out of false remedies, so getting rid of the snake oil, so to speak, as well as clinical and animal testing of drugs to see what their true functions and effects were. In the 1700s, the apothecary, with appropriate training, could prescribe and administer medicines and could charge for advice. And as those of us that are in the practice of the profession know now, we are trying still continually to this day to get back to those roles in some settings. So what about pharmacy in the United States? There are a few examples of pharmacists that migrated to the New World as early as the mid-1600s. By the late 18th century, drugstores could be found in all American cities. So apothecaries in the United States differed a little bit from those in Europe in that they tended to meet the needs of the population that they served in addition to medicines. So often you could find other things for sale in apothecaries, textiles, paint, window glass, whatever was needed and could be sold. And eventually this evolved into what some of us nostalgically will see, for example, when we go to rural practice areas, as a soda fountain. A little bit about pharmacy education. The first College of Pharmacy was founded in 1821. That is the Philadelphia College of Pharmacy. As you guys embark upon your training to become part of that profession, I offer my best to you, my best wishes for your success in the program. Thank you.